The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Victory Friday. We won in New Orleans finally. You're looking live at Tostitos Championship Plaza outside the Star in Frisco, Texas, right here by Ford Center. And the stage is set tonight, Kurt, for the Christmas Spectacular, so come check it out.
Awesome.
68 degrees outside. It feels like 68. The high is going to be 75 freaking degrees, man, and the low is 61. Will winter...
That ain't good bear hunting weather.
No. Will winter
Bear
ever
hunting.
get here? Man, tell you what, I really don't know how to feel today.
Yeah, it's a win. You're supposed to feel happy.
It's a win, and thanks, Mama
Thank you,
Gross,
Mama Gross.
for the treats today.
Love 'em.
She made us some trash because y'all are all trash, so she made that for y'all.
Love that stuff.
Speaking of trash, no Jesse today.
No, wow.
I knew you was going there.
I'm kidding.
I knew you was going there.
I'm kidding.
Well, Jesse had a slight problem.
Oh,
He got a new occupation.
Yeah, he
today.
felt lonely today, and he didn't want to. So something happened with one of his people at his job, so he didn't want the kids to be left on the porch, so he took his place.
So he driving a bus today to make sure all the kids get picked up.
driving a bus?
Yeah, so he like, man, I don't want the kids to be left on the porch, so I'll drive the bus. So y'all tweet Jesse and tell him to handle his business.
Yep, tell him keep his eyes on the road. No tweeting and driving. So
Yeah.
we'll have him back on Monday. So, but yeah, Mom made some holiday.
And so
goodies.
that was she
text.
called
He
it
really
for
is
real
driving a
trash?
bus.
Yeah,
what
we-
do you call it?
We call it trash. I mean, it's like Chex Mix. And
Yeah,
stuff.
something they've made up in Louisiana.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's good.
Between some of the 18 places they've lived.
Don't start eating it on the show because you won't be able to stop. Oh, by the way, Mom had her first Wingstop experience
Yeah.
Really?
about a week and a half
She hadn't
ago.
had Wingstop before?
No.
Wow.
She liked it.
Yeah.
She was a big fan.
Cowboys had
Big
their
fan,
first.
too.
They had their first winning experience in
Okay.
Louisiana.
Oh, my goodness. I tell you what, that was a weird – I was talking to Chris about this on the sideline. It was a weird vibe. That was as quiet. One, it was about half Cowboy fans, which I've never seen down there. And
It was half?
I think it was probably – Chris, what do you think? Half?
Yeah, about half.
Dang.
And then it
It was
was
a late arriving crowd, I've
yeah,
noticed, too.
It was
Yep,
like
that was the Cowboys fans.
Yeah.
If it was late arriving, it was the
were
Cowboys.
Thursday.
stumbling in from the
Yeah.
Bourbon Street. And then it was like really quiet for New Orleans. Like it would get loud every once in a while, but usually that place is like nonstop rowdy. It was not like
That
It was
is-
not rocking. let's
That
say
is
that.
what happens when you don't have a good team. I don't care who you are,
Yeah.
what league you're in. When you don't have a team that you believe in,
fans aren't rowdy.
fans ain't rowdy. Because I had a guy that's a New Orleans fans. His name is Brian Collier, works at this dealership. I said, hey, man, I know you going down. He's a rowdy fan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you. Well, no, I sold my tickets. I said, oh, that's a Cowboy move. You sold yeah, man. Yeah. I said, okay. Yeah. I just feel bad for the New Orleans fans, but I love the Cowboy fans.
My buddy that's down there said that tickets were going 3 times what they normally
Yes.
get for this game.
Yes.
And that's probably why there were so
Going
many
three
Cowboys.
times,
Three times
available.
3 times normal value.
Oh, normal.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. So anyway, well, what did you think, Kurt? We'll start with you.
We'll start with you, Shannon, because you're supposed to be Shannon today.
I'm Shannon today.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's supposed to be Jesse.
I don't know how to feel, man. Like I feel like there was they couldn't figure it out. I felt like nobody wanted to win that game. Like it was like
You take it.
Yeah.
No, you can have it.
You know what? I'll give you the ball. No, you take the ball back. And
We ain't gonna score on offense. We'll let the defense say, well, we'll get an interception, give it back.
Yes, it was just a weird. Like I felt like, and this was a decimated Saints team. And I don't want to poo-poo on it because
You are? So go ahead
but
on.
I don't want to.
You're doing a great job, Jesse.
But what I am being Jesse, aren't I? But I mean, they say it's hard to win football games in the NFL, no matter who you're playing, and both teams get paychecks. But I mean, they should have just gone in there and hung 40 on them, and it should have been a blowout, and it wasn't. They were in it till the end of the game, despite having 4 interceptions and couldn't get the run game cranking, despite Tony Pollard ripping a
58 yarder.
Yeah, like I just felt like I don't know how to feel about this game, and I don't want to poo-poo it because it's a win.
You already have.
But and it's a win in New Orleans, and that's something we haven't seen. So I'm not going to poo-poo it. But I didn't leave that game feeling like this was a dominant Cowboys team.
But you look. I mean, it was the 3rd game in 12 days. They have all this COVID nonsense.
Voice
going
of reason.
On.
Your head coach wasn't there.
Head coach wasn't
your
there.
Offensive line coaches weren't there.
So they're battling a lot. But I'm with you. I mean, do you look at the 4 turnovers, the 4 interceptions, the pick 6 that the defense kept them in the game, or do you look at the 405 yards of offense given up to a quarterback, a third-string quarterback with a hurt throwing hand? I mean, it's kind of.
How do you feel, Nate?
Good. I feel great because I knew this was the day, and this is the day we need Jesse the most.
We do.
Yeah. We need because I'm overjoyed. I feel like this. Both teams were decimated with injuries, so it just came down to who was going to get the last few plays. Our defense got more than the last few plays. Our offense refused. We're not scoring. We don't care what y'all do. They're like, okay, we're going to get the ball closer this time. Are we going? We'll. You know what? Yeah. Don't worry, we'll score.
But were the Cowboys decimated with injuries? I mean,
they've lost their
obviously Cooper was.
They lost limited, their 2 tackles. 2 starting tackles.
They lost. But what about the Cowboys?
No, let me go through this.
Okay.
They lost their 2 starting tackles. They lost Alvin Kamara. They don't have their quarterback, even though he's a streaky guy in Winston. So now you bring in your super athletic guy. He breaks a finger during the game. So
did he really?
That was a big deal. They lost 2 defensive linemen, 2 defensive ends. They're starting sack guys. And so they were decimated. Now, we had a bunch of guys out too. But the difference is we had our quarterback. And he was just good enough, along with Amari Cooper and Gallup and Lamb, to be the difference maker. So we scored 20 points. They scored, 17? Our defense scored 7 points on top of that. So it was a war of nutrition. We won. Chris Beam, you didn't get enough of them on.
Did you say a war of nutrition?
Attrition.
Oh, I thought you said nutrition.
I probably did say nutrition because of this right here. A war of attrition. But what's that game that Chris Bean plays?
Call of Duty?
You didn't get enough of them yesterday. You didn't get enough of them yesterday. And it was fun to me because now we know 100%. Kurt, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, Jesse. Tell me if I'm wrong, Shannon. We know now that our offensive coordinator has to find more plays and more ways to get Tony Pollard out there. So we can have and I'm not saying we have to run the ball 30 times, swing him the ball a little faster, get it in his hand. We have to come up with packages so we can get to the end because our tight ends are not blocking well, but find a way to get a bigger guy and let's get to the end. Let's stretch the defense. And so it's simple. To me, it seems simple. Out there playing against these guys is harder. But find a way to get Tony Pollard the ball because now I just don't feel like we should line up in that I formation or that naked eye is what I call it and just run straight ahead. Teams are ready and set for that. The 1 or 2 times we jumped outside, it caught guys off guard. So now we got to, not the triple reverses and all of that, but just find ways to get Tony Pollard the ball. The West Coast offense will fit him perfect. Get him that ball real quick and let him do some things. Let Zeke heal. I know you got to play him in the third down situations. I know you feel more comfortable because, what Tony Pollard should learn, he hasn't learned it yet. He hasn't got as good are as efficient as Zeke is at doing it. So yes, you may be saying, hey, well, when Zeke come in, we know he's there to block. Well, that's fine, but Pollard can be this factor that we've been looking for to help our run game.
You saying that even with if Zeke was healthy, are you saying they need to get?
If Zeke were healthy, I wouldn't run because we could toss it to Zeke. He can get on the edges. Zeke can run up the middle. But Zeke, I saw him I saw him catch a pass. I was going to go straight New Orleans and call that pass. I saw him catch a pass, and normally Zeke could stop and cut up field. He just kept running right out of bounds. And I know you being there, you saw it, brother.
Yep. He ain't right.
What Zeke is doing in today's, if you were playing with me, Zeke, you would be getting rewarded. You don't play with me, Zeke. Get out of there, son. In today's NFL, and I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about in today's NFL, the game is so fast and so vicious to you're not effective.
So why do they keep? Yeah. Why do they keep using him so much?
Because they don't want to look like, okay, he's a third down guy who can block the blitz pickups well. But you don't want to just say, okay, here comes third and whatever, here comes Zeke.
I mean, the running game's kind of broken right now, and he got 64% of the snaps yesterday.
Brother, you look at go look at that film, and our tight ends are not doing well. It's just each guy's taking his turn making a bad play. The offensive line, this guy miss a block, and you can't have that. And so with Zeke not being Zeke, you need a more healthier guy to make up for the mistakes. See what a good running back does, like Tony Pollard, what Zeke does, what Alvin Kamara can do, is make sometime not when you have a healthy, great offensive line, they can make these guys better. We don't make our guys better. We don't make our offensive line better. We have our left tackle, I think, is a great player. Our right guard is a great player. Now, Lyle Collins handled his own. He played against a savvy veteran in Cam Jordan last night, so he handled his own for as much as I've seen, a film I've seen. But I still, within the middle of our offensive line, when they decided to just blow up the field like you saw in the first series, they blew up in there and made Dak had to jump outside and throw it on the run. And so that don't let him be as sharp with his wide receivers as he need to be. At the beginning of the year, he used to sit back there and surgically just eat you up. Now he's moving around. Okay, we know he can move around and throw the ball, but he's not a street baller anymore. He's not a street baller. He like to get set and read and make his reads. He ain't been practicing running for his life. Well, now the last 4 or 5 games, he been practicing running for his life. And no quarterback is good in that aspect.
Did y'all hold your breath a couple of times when he went down?
Oh, they got on him so quick one time. Yeah. One time he thought he had time to throw.
There were two. One was when they got on him really quick, and he I don't know, he did something with his leg. It looked weird. And as he went to get up, I was like, oh, my God, is he grabbing his leg? And then the other one, when that guy.
We're all so paranoid.
When that guy fell and grabbed his ankle.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, Lord, get up. Does he look right to y'all?
He's not right. No. He's not right for 2 reasons. He's got some lingering effects from what came out of training camp, now compounded with the calf. Yeah. Those are lingering effects. And now his offensive line is not as sturdy, not as consistent. Mm-hmm. Every other snap, every third pass, they own him.
Yeah.
They own him, and I mean quick. Because one time he dropped back, and just as he was getting ready to set his feet, that dude hit him from the side, and that's when you saw it. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, is he okay?
So you think it's a little physical and a little offensive line not having the time to let things develop?
I agree.
Well, what?
Go ahead on. I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
Go ahead, Shannon.
I don't remember us having this much concern and doubts about the offensive line when Connor Williams was in there.
You know, I'll say this right here.
2 more games.
And I can agree 100%. We just have 2 less holding penalties. So if we'd have got them 2 holding penalties last night, what you think?
Well, I think
what
overall,
I'm saying, and I'm not trying to. I've learned, disciple of Jesse. I'm not going to argue with you, but they're basically the same guys.
Yeah,
and
well,
I think that Connor has more experience in the bigger games. So if they put Connor back in there, I have no problem with it. The job is basically still the same. Zeke is not 100%. Tony Pollard is your main back right now, or should be your main back. Get him in positions to help your offensive line the best you can do. If you go in there, you know, everybody, Kurt, there's no quick fix on this. There's no quick fix. You know, we either deal with what has, and I think they took that kid out of there, not so much that he was playing bad. It was just those 1 or 2 plays. When you're leading the league as an offense in penalties and you're starting to play better and better and better opponents, what they was trying to do is stop the bleeding for this kid. Now we going to find out. Within the next week, Washington ain't joking. Right. Jack Del Rio has gotten those guys playing well, especially those 2 guys on the inside. I think one of their horses on the outside is hurt, but they got those 2 guys on the inside playing well. They're bringing the safety, Collins, remember New York guy? They bringing him up in the box now,
right?
Blitzing him. So
yeah, I mean, I just wonder because you had one of the top rushing offenses in the league, and now you have one of the worst.
But this has been 6 weeks. They've been bad. Right. This kid has only been in there 2 weeks.
He came in for the Kansas City game.
So
3. I guess.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it was going downhill. Yeah. Maybe he made it go faster.
Would Dak have a say in it? Would he say, I want McGovern in there?
No. Dak has his own problems. Well, Dak has not been sharp.
Right. But if the line's part of the problem, would he have any
No. What he's going to try to do is make sure he's sharper and better at what he's doing. You know, when you open up the game and you try to get CD the ball, the contested balls CD has a problem with. You get it to him in open air, he's lights out. Like Michael Gallup, the bigger the play, the more he shines. But that number 19, that's who we got to get going.
Yeah.
If he's healthy, number 19, because number 19 brings an extra guy. So you got to decide. Now they don't have to decide. If Zeke in the backfield, they're not scared. We're not putting Tony Pollard in the best possible position so he can. So it's like that's pretty regular defense. We ain't got to move the safeties up. We ain't got to do nothing. But when Amari comes and you get him cranking, see, I think with these plays that Kellen is doing, he has to find better ways to get Amari the football if he's healthy. See, everything predicated for the Cowboys, whether they go into the playoffs or have any success, are they healthy? That is the key. I think Coach Philbin can find a way to make his offensive line work. I think Kellen is smart enough to find a way so, you know what, tell Zeke, this is the route, this is the direction we are going. Tell him so he can get himself healthy. So maybe with 4 games into this, and if they have a good playoff spot, then you can be more effective. Because when the games get bigger and they get tougher, which they will, Washington twice in 3 weeks, that I'm telling you, they have set their eyesights. Coach Rivera and their defensive coordinator, they have set their eyesights on Dallas.
Oh, you know what's crazy? Nick pointed this out yesterday or day before. Washington controls their own destiny. As bad as they were at the beginning of the year, if they win 6 in a row, they win the division.
Yeah,
because they play us twice.
Twice.
Yeah, in which you'd say no, there's no way, but the year that the Giants won the Super Bowl and beat the Patriots.
They were in about 7 in a row.
They won 6 in a row to get into the wild card game and rolled through the playoffs. Got healthy at the right time and started clicking. All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, let's just trash this win a little bit more. Let's just see how terrible we can make this win when we come back.
Give me an ugly win.
And Mama Gross later on Hangin' with the Boys.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
How great would it be to travel to watch the Cowboys win on another team's turf? Pretty great. But honestly, just watching the game from anywhere but your house would be fun. Even a hotel bar with some guy named Phil from St. Louis who thinks Oakland still has a team. So whether you're traveling to the game or watching...
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
Oh, man. I got a mouthful. I got a mouthful. Why don't you have any food in your mouth, Nate?
No, man. I'm going to wait on mine. You say it's good, and I'm going to savor the flavor.
You know what? I don't have a live read ready or anything, so I'll double up. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Live read is Mama Gross's Texas trash. Oh my God.
Got him. Got him. All right. So I'm not trashing the win. A win is a win.
Speaking of trash.
Yeah, speaking of trash in Kurt's throat. But I feel like if Kamara would have played in that game, that's a whole different ball game.
And I feel like Randy Gregory would have played in that game, it would have been a whole different ball game.
So fair enough.
If David Guard would have played, if they tackles would have played, it'd been a whole.
Let me ask you this: Are you concerned because this team just doesn't? They don't look. Something looks off.
Yeah.
Defensively, they're. I tell you what. How about our guy J-Ron?
Yeah, he had a nice game. Huh?
Yeah, real nice game,
interception
man.
was sweet.
I'm gonna tell you, these guys played hard. They played smart for the most part. They took advantage of a quarterback that I thought was better than that. I thought Hill was a better, even before he got his finger hurt, he wasn't as sharp, and maybe because he's only threw 8 passes up until that point. But he's no quarterback, I don't think, that you would want to throw out there every play.
No.
But I'll tell you, like, they're here. I'm glad they won. Now they can go into these 10 days. I know they're going to be off a few days, but when they come back, they'll be looking at it from a positive point. They won't be, it won't be hard for the coaches to get their attention. Hey, fellas, we won that game. We barely won it, but look here, this is what we have to do. This is how we have to respond. And guys will be buying into it versus a loss. They go to slide.
I agree with that, though. That kind of, in some ways, for the coaches, is sort of the best of both worlds because they got the win, but the coaches can say, you barely beat a bad team. So we got work to do, so maybe that'll help.
You know who I was happy for the coaches because you had like Lunda Wells coaching the offensive line out of place. You had Al Harris's guys that balled out. You had Coach Quinn that knows the Saints probably better than anybody because he played in the division for years. Stepping in for Coach McCarthy, and then I was happy for the coaches because that could have been a disaster with all the COVID stuff that was going on and all the we talk about how much players are creatures of habit. Like you don't have your coach on game day, you don't have your coach going into the game. You had all these variables, and it could have been it could have been a bad bad game, bad experience for them. But they won.
How much of an impact that really? What do you think that, like, as far as a player being out there, how much of an impact do you think that really had not having McCarthy there?
I think it ain't so much with Coach McCarthy as I think it was with Coach Philbin. He has to make adjustments to the protections. He has to make adjustments to the run game. He has to be ready to make adjustments to the hot game when they say, when he's single out to the receiver. Sometimes you have to reset the Mike backer who's they counting from or who they worried about, the extra guy. So it's a lot of adjustments that an offensive line coach have to make within the offensive line. Just minor little tweaks as the game goes. So that's what I was worried about. Coach Luna, could he do it, or could the veteran players rally enough to keep this thing together? So that was my biggest concern, not so much who was the head coach, because we had Quinn. Like I was telling everybody, why would you go anywhere else and you got Quinn? Ain't nobody else should have even been in the conversation as a head coach. So they had the guy that can make it. And then I figured, like this right here, by him being the head coach, he may forget and say, hey, run the ball, find a better run play, or do this and do that. We got to play to the strength of the defense, because that's what it turned out to be in the second half. Did we score anything in the second half?
Oh, we did, but it was
field. Carlos Watkins.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I'm saying. The defense scored. So you happy that the defense is there. The thing is, how far away are we from having an efficient run game? You don't have to have the greatest run game, but you have to be efficient. And what I mean by that is, even when teams knowing you're going to run, like we had a 3rd and 2, we threw a pass on one time. A 3rd and 3, we threw a pass.
After that one interception, they only held the ball for like a minute and 12 seconds when they're needing to eat up some clock,
So,
well, that goes back. I was going to ask you guys, talking about coaches. I mean, there are a lot of stuff on social media about, we're seeing, I think Jesse might even had something about Kellen Moore is now turning into Jason Garrett with kind of this conservative play calling, and hasn't seemed to have the same creativity here lately. You think that's true, or I mean, what's going on there?
Go ahead on, Shannon. What's your thoughts?
Look, I don't know, but I think he knows this team well enough to know his personnel and what he has to work with, and I think it's easy to say when you're winning and you're scoring a ton of points, oh, he's the most creative guy in the world, he's doing this. And then when you're losing, it's like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
I'd be interested to go back and look at the play breakdown distribution between a game like last night where it seemed like you couldn't do much right and a game where you blow somebody out like Atlanta. Is there really that big of a difference? Like, you're the analytics guy. You should go to break down every single play.
Okay.
And tell. But, I mean, it's easy to think, when you're not moving the ball and things aren't clicking, it's all about the play calling. But if you hit on a couple of those passes, if CD doesn't run the deep route when Dak thought he was cutting it short, and you do some of that and you put up 40 points, then it's, everything worked. That's my opinion. I think the offensive coordinator is kind of like the quarterback. He's going to get a lot of the crap and he's going to get a lot of the praise.
7 weeks ago when you said, man, they got a lot of penalties. Mm-hmm. And I said, that's what happened when you winning and scoring and a lot of points. Now you can't afford those penalties. Now you can't afford the little mistakes of not getting your block. See, Kellen is all right. All he got to do is just find a way, just go into his bag of tricks, as just like say, and find a way to get Pollard a little more active and get him not running so much up in between the tackles. Get him out in space. CD is back. Gallup is back. Amari is back. Dak will soon settle down. Get the passes out a little bit quicker at the earlier part of the game. Let your offensive line get a little bit more adjusted. But now I'm with you. It's either the left guard, it's Connor Williams or Connor McGovern. Can't go back and forth. Find who you want. Let's deal with that. Right tackle, going forward against Washington, whoever's your offensive line has to stay that way. So however you want to go, let's go. But we have to – the only thing I see that we have to improve upon is making sure that Tony Pollard is a key until Zeke can get healthy enough to insert his will again. And if he can't, Tony Pollard has become the next man. I think Clemens is the guy for him. You have to find out and use him. People talking about trust. Clemens ain't no slouch. So let's trust that you went out and got the right guys. And if we fix that little thing there between the offensive line and the running backs, and then one more thing.
That's a lot of fixing.
Fixing
a lot of stuff.
No, it's the offensive line is one unit. So that's one thing. Tony Pollard is two things. Our tight ends have to be a little bit more effective in blocking, just a little bit more effective. That's all it takes because our passing game is there. It will get better.
They're missing Jarwin in that aspect?
I don't know. I knew Schultz 6 weeks ago was trying to do everything in the world to be a complete player.
Yeah.
Now that he's become a pass-catching tight end, that's what he looks like. When they ask him to block, it's and maybe I was missing it before. Maybe he was this same guy before, but Schultz was just a try-hard, make-it-happen guy. Now he's just a receiver. And we had Sprinkle. We brought this kid in from Arkansas. I mean, he can't even get on the field. I mean, we need somebody that can set the edge so we can help this run game. We just can't keep running between the tackles.
What happened to Schultz? I never heard whenever he went down.
I never heard. I don't remember them saying anything on the broadcast. He looked pretty serious there for a minute. And then he got up and ran off, and he was back. So maybe just got the wind knocked out of him. I don't know.
All right, let's take our last break. When we come back, more stuff, and I'll have 2 live reads and Mama Gross, and we'll try not to have our mouths full this time, but maybe not. Tune in to see on Hanging with the Boys.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. We're turning your living room into your office and your gym. We're teaching Grandma how to video call and teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back. You know what? Come out here tonight and watch the Christmas extravaganza.
Do we know who the player is? It's
on social media. We're sitting here watching on the NFL Network all the replays from last night. Man, there was some awesome plays. You forget how good Michael Gallup is, how good his feet are, in his awareness. Come out and watch the Christmas extravaganza. It's a 20-minute show that electrifies the Star in Frisco, and it's a powerful mix of game day excitement and Christmas cheer every Friday and Saturday at 6 p.m. through December the 18th. Admission and parking are free. For more info, visit thestardistrict.com. And WrestleMania. Your favorite WWE superstars return to AT&T Stadium for WrestleMania on Saturday, April the 2nd, Sunday, April the 3rd. Tickets are on sale now. Get yours before they sell out. Visit SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing provider of AT&T Stadium. And a shout-out to our guy Ruben and his buddies that were in town for the game from Austin. They were on the front row behind the Cowboys bench, and all of them had cowboy hats on with their Columbia Cowboys outerwear shirts. So
a nice picture of you there.
Got to hang out with them and say hi for a few minutes. Brought Chris over, and Chris met him. So, and our guy G was at the game. G from Jersey.
Oh yeah.
Him and his boy were there. So got to see those guys too.
Good thing you couldn't go out the night before, huh?
Yeah, we were on hotel lockdown,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
we
we were.
weren't able to leave the hotel. But I tell you what, we did some damage, didn't we, Chris?
Yes, we did.
I did.
you did.
Damaged that hotel bar.
Yesterday, Shannon comes up and goes, "Man, where were you last night?" And I was like,
Hanging out with you.
I was with you. He goes, "Oh man, I must have blacked out."
Well, the bar closed at 10:30. So
Dude, that guy at the bartender wanted to close that thing at like 8:30.
Yeah, he was done.
He was done at 8:30.
Because he was the only one, and they had supposedly one cook in the kitchen for all of room service and all of the bar, and everybody was ordering room service because we couldn't leave. So he was done, and he was supposed to close at 10:30. So I was like, well, I gotta get it in before 10:30, and he wound up staying open until like 11:30. So I got an extra hour. It was like daylight savings time. I might have walked my tab. I don't even know. I don't even remember paying out.
I got one shout out, by the way. Can I get one shout out?
Yeah, what you got?
All right, I got the real Anthony from Miami.
Yes, sir.
He called me today. I'm sorry when I can get him on because we have Mama Gross on, but I'll give him one of these. All right, so there you go.
There you go.
That's for him.
Thanks for calling, Anthony. We'll take calls next week.
Yeah, that's what I
All right. What do we got about 5 minutes before we call Mama Gross. What do y'all want to talk about? That
I got
guy
her on the phone now, but
do we?
You let me know.
No, let's go with Mama Gross. Let's just see what she. Yeah, let's go.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, how are y'all?
How you doing, ma'am? Thank you for the food. Thank you for the snacks.
Well, that has to be eaten with beer or sweet tea because it's from Louisiana.
I like the sound of that.
Me and Kurt already choked on it in the middle of the
Good
show.
stuff. Got
I know.
caught
I
with their
was
mouths
watching.
full.
You do better to put that in your mouth and try it.
Yeah.
Why didn't you go back home to Louisiana for the game?
Me and Patsy Cline, you talk about the Superdome being quiet. This house was quiet.
Yeah, they were a house divided last night.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We were in neutral corners trying not to say anything, and finally I just couldn't stay any longer. I just screamed. So, anyhow.
What'd you think? What'd you think about the game?
It felt like a struggle. I just felt like Dak has struggled. I mean, he's just not what he was at the beginning, and I don't know if it's all the things that have gone and the changes and stuff. And I'm kind of like Nate. I think they're going to settle down. They've got everything back together. They played 3 games in a short period of time, and they're not all healthy. So it was a quiet game to me.
Yeah, it was quiet. It was quiet in the Superdome. It was the weirdest atmosphere I've ever experienced there. It was just, I don't know. It just seemed flat.
It felt like a preseason game.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a flat beer?
Exactly like that.
Were there empty seats? It looked like on the...
They didn't get, like Chris said, we were talking about halfway through the first quarter, and there were a lot of, like, especially up in the 200 and 300 levels, there were a lot of empty seats.
A couple of TV shots looked like it was...
Yeah, they got there later, but it was a late arriving crowd, so...
Well, I've been in the Superdome when it wasn't loud back in the day when Archie Manning, all our family lived in New Orleans, and I was there with paper bags on our heads.
Yep.
So, I mean, it does get quiet, but it's been many, many years since it's not so loud you can't even hear yourself talk. So,
have you ever been to a game in the Superdome?
Yeah. That's what I told you, with the bag over my head.
Yeah,
had bags on the head.
But how long has it been since you've been?
Well, it's been a long time. I mean, when Archie Manning played, when Uncle Bob was in the oil field, when we had a box seat. Yeah, it's been a long time.
So the 70s.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was kind of cool because I grew up watching Cowboys and Saints because we would get both games if they played at different times. So like in the 70s, I was a huge Cowboys fan. 80s, I was a big Saints fan. And last night they retired Sam Mills' number.
Great Sam Mills.
Yep, and then they had Ricky Jackson there, and they showed the old
Did you go up against them?
Dome Patrol. Up.
I played against Sam Mills when he was in the USFL.
Oh, really?
Did you really? Wow. And I didn't know this, but Thomas Blakey, one of our videographers, he's a big Carolina Panthers fan. And, you know, their big slogan is keep pounding. And that he said that came because that was Sam Mills when he came to the Panthers. That's what he would always say is just keep pounding, keep pounding. So they kind of adopted that. So it was kind of a cool thing for me to see them retire his number last night. So, all right, Mom. You won one. You're already up 1-0 this week.
Yeah, isn't that great? 27-10. I'll take the win, whether it was sloppy or not.
How'd you do the last time? Do you even want to talk about it?
No.
Okay. All right.
No, it was bad.
All right.
To me, the whole NFL it's been weird the last 2 weeks. It's not what you expect, and then bam, somebody comes out and just out of nowhere, just like Washington, just like the Eagles. It's just getting to that time of the year. So, all right, you want my picks?
Yep. This is for entertainment purposes only. We do not condone gambling in any form or fashion, although we're sponsored by WinStar, so I'm not sure how that works, but go ahead.
I'm going the first round with the Chargers and the Bengals. Chargers are getting 3, Bengals are giving up 3, and I'm going with the Bengals.
Of course, Joe Burrow, Homer. Mm-hmm. You know what? We were talking about this last night, too. Could you imagine when Joe Burrow's contract is up if the Saints signed him?
Wow.
How crazy that would be.
They need to sign somebody.
Yeah, no joke. All right, so you got the Bengals.
Coach.
Got the Bengals. Yeah. All right, Washington and the Raiders. Mm-hmm. And Washington's getting a 1.5. Raiders are giving up a 1.5, and I'm going with the Raiders.
Okay.
And the Washington needs to really lose that game.
That helps.
Okay, Vikings and the Lions. The Vikings. Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong game. I'm sorry. Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens are giving up 4.5. Pittsburgh is getting 4.5. I think Ben needs to retire, and I'm going with the Ravens.
All right.
All right, Patriots and the Bills. The over-under is 42.5, and Patriots have been putting up some numbers, so I'm going over. And no, Shannon, I never pick under.
You shouldn't. That's the boringest bet in the world because if they hit it at halftime, then you got nothing to watch the rest of the game. You're always in it if you take the over.
Yep. So I'm an over person. So I'm going over. Patriots and the Bills.
All right, so read them off again real quick.
Chargers and the Bengals, I'm going with the Bengals. Washington and the Raiders, I'm going with the Raiders. The Ravens and Pittsburgh, I'm going with the Ravens. And over-under, Patriots and Bills, over.
All right.
We're going to have a better week this week. And, Nate, we got some more surprises coming. Remember you said the 12 days of Christmas. I don't know if I can hang for 12 days, but maybe one a week. So.
Yes, ma'am, but if you come with them cinnamon rolls, you can be all right.
I'm giving you something else that you're going to get a sugar overload on, too.
Okay.
So.
When are we getting that? Monday?
Yeah, Monday.
All right. Goodies on Monday. So make enough for Chris and William.
I always do.
All right.
We appreciate it.
Yes, we do. Thank you, Mom.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
All right. See you later.
Now.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Tell Miss Patsy Cline it's going to be all right.
No, that wasn't all right last night.
It'll be all right.
All right, Mom. See you later.
Okay.
Bye.
I got one last question for you guys here.
Yeah.
Do you think, they're just coming off the 3 games in 12 days, but now they have a nice little bit longer break, 10-day break. Would you rather have the condensed schedule with a nice break or keep it rhythmic and no break?
They need this break. They need this break so they can go and self-scout. The coaches, the head scouts, guys like Will McClay, and not overdo it. Just say, hey, Coach, have you thought about this? Coach, we see this. Something that we may be missing as fans or as spectators or analysts or whatever you want to call us. that they may see. You know, hey, we run this formation. I heard Brody say this. Out of this formation, we was more successful. Out of this look, we wasn't. You know, find out what you don't need to make this run, what you do well, and enhance it. So that, you know, to look at themselves. I'm telling you, Coach McCarthy probably started last night. Like say, hey, I got a lot of energy here. I sat up on it. You know, I had my popcorn ready, and that's all I've been eating. You know, so now he's probably.
Yeah.
You know.
So the busy schedule is worth it because you get a little extra time to.
Yeah, definitely, man. You know, they said Zeke was better. That's the word leaked out. He felt better this week than he did last week, but he didn't look better.
No.
This kid need a rest, and somebody's got to, you know, let him know, hey, man, you need a rest. You need to let Pollard do his thing, man. And I'm about winning, and I know Zeke has that warrior mentality. He can sit up in those third downs and he can do what it needs to be taken. He can chip. But right about now, we need some type of run game, whether it's throwing a short pass out of the backfield or lining him up in the slot. We need the guys that can damage a defense. And we're better when we, as an offense, 31, 32 minutes of time possession. We're better there. We seem to be better when we do it that way.
All right, before we get out of here, one more thing.
Yeah.
Kurt, we've known this for a long time, but we are in a room right now with greatness.
We are. For sure.
And our buddy Nate Newton was announced over the weekend as a Black College Football Hall of Fame finalist from the class of 2022. Wow. Nate, I hate to break it to you, but yes, you are black.
Man, I thought I was white. Don't do that to me, man.
So congratulations, Nate.
Wow, can I make the White Hall of Fame?
How many Hall of Fames you already in?
That's a pretty
man, I ain't in none. I'm in my Hall of Fame.
I know.
I'm serious. I'm in my college Hall of Fame at FAMU.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I probably, if my high school
another
have
one.
Nah, man, I'm in the Hall of Fame in my own world though.
Yeah. So did they reach out to you and let you know, or did you just find out?
Nah. I just keep finding out through the media. One day they'll put me in, man. I'll probably be like, thank you.
That was my question. Is what the hell took them so long? Yeah. Like if you look at some of those names on there, I'm like, wait a minute, Nate should have been in here way before all these guys. So
I want to thank Wingstop for flying me out here.
You've been a finalist before in this?
Yeah. But forget that. Hey, let me say this right here.
June 18th. Remember that, guys.
June 19th.
Road trip.
Let me say this right here, man.
18th.
Y'all are not excited that we're 8-4.
I'm ecstatic.
Oh yeah, we got the division.
You know what? And that's the thing. Like, last week it was all doom and gloom. But if you would have told 90% of these Cowboy fans you're 7-4, 11 games into the season, every one of them would have been like, hell yes, give me that. Like, give me that. And now you're 8-4.
Yeah.
And here I am poo-pooing on the win. Like. We're 8-4.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You lead the party. That's what makes me laugh. That's why I keep laughing, Kurt, because he leads the party.
But you always want more.
That 6-game winning streak spoiled us. We were talking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And now we're just happy.
And now it's not clicking like it was.
We got into an argument 2 weeks in a row on Crosstalk. Super Bowl. I like, stop, man. Don't do that. They're lucky if they get to the second round. I'm telling now it's like anytime at any moment, I'm expecting to hear our Mexico music. At any moment.
I'm not going this year.
No.
But if something happens, I got the dates wrong, and I if we get out in the first round, there's still a chance I go to Mexico. All right, Kurt.
You got to be 1-0 like Micah Parsons.
Good seeing you.
Good seeing you, bro. I'm glad
Nate,
you got a chance to go home last night.
Congratulations. Yes, it was fun, even though I couldn't leave the bar with Chris and didn't remember it. Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air.
No problem.
Will, thanks for keeping the live streams up. We will be back.
Thank you, Mama Gross.
Yeah, thanks, Mom.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Mama Gross.
For the snacks.
I didn't choke during the show, but I will go on the way home.
So good it'll choke you.
Driving that bus.
There you go. Jesse, we missed you today, man. We needed you.
You didn't want to leave the kids on the porch.
We needed you, but we will be back Monday with a full crew. You know what? It's going to be Victory Monday on Monday. So Victory Friday,
and Anthony,
Victory
glad
Monday.
you called in, man. Sorry we couldn't get to you.
Yes, sir. We will be back next week on Hanging with the Boys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!